Hi, Nick Duffy here from Nick Duffy Golf and MMG Golf Performance. Here to talk a little bit about how to flight the ball down the wind and how to be a better wind player. So, getting into this, I'm going to show you kind of two different ways to basically be a better wind player. I'm not one of those that like to tell people there's only one way to do everything. If you watched my other videos, I definitely have a lot of suggestions or a lot of experimentation stuff I want you to try, but I'm definitely not one of those that says this is it, this is the only way you're going to do it, you know, do this way and that's it. So especially when it comes to the wind, I'd say there's some people who are really good at being able to flight the ball down using the left wrist. The guys you see on YouTube and Instagram hitting stingers all the time, doing a lot of videos doing that. I'd say those are the guys that you would see being able to hit that little low shot no problem. Maybe a little overdone for a lot of the golf course, a lot of shots you need on the course, but definitely something that a shot that may come in handy, especially laying up on a par 4, par 5, or if you're hitting a shot down a fairway. Not so much maybe trying to hold a green. So overall, I'd say to start this whole thing out, if I'm trying to play in the wind, for me personally, and this is what I learned in, I'd say my 10 years down in South Florida, playing in a ton of wind every day. For me, it always benefited from learning how to hit these little 3/4 shots, kind of punchy, bow on my lead wrist, and then not really finishing the full swing. So I always felt like it was a little 3/4 on both sides. Right, that. I didn't really have a full finish, full rehinge. Took a little bit of speed off the ball, was able to kind of flight it down, drop the spin rate, so the ball would kind of just hit the green, stop, not really spin back too much. That was the best way for me personally to hit the shot, and this is how you do it. So I would basically put the ball, maybe one ball back in my stance. I would definitely never play it forward or middle. So if I'm only playing a 7-iron around like my left ear, right, I'm going to move it back to almost middle of my stance. Some days maybe a little further back if I'm having trouble with the divots, I'm having trouble flighting it. Maybe the ball's cutting a little too much, I may put it even further back. May move it based upon my start line. That's kind of something I'll get into another video, but that is another way to do it. Okay, so we're going to play the ball a little further back than normal. I'm going to feel like I'm going to have a little more shaft lean than normal, which I'm not the biggest proponent of too much shaft lean with an iron or driver to start the swing. It's just kind of a good feel for me personally to help flight it down. So get myself in this good setup position. Take it back, and when I'm taking it back, I'm going to feel like I'm actually keeping the face a little stronger than normal. So, because I've mentioned in other videos before, I got a pretty weak grip. So for me, I got to feel a little bit more bowed or flex in my lead wrist to manage the face pretty well. Because it's a shorter swing, I don't have as much time to square it up with the hands. So once again, I'm going to feel like that little bit more bowed or flex lead wrist feeling. Then as I come down, I'm not going to, actually as I go back, I'm not going to move off the ball much. It's going to be very little movement going back. I would say when it comes to, shorter irons, shorter shots, shorter swings, a lot of times it's easier to have very little lateral motion. It's just less timing, going to make it easier to hit the same spot on the ground time after time. If we're looking for more power, looking for more distance, that's when we're going to add in that little like stomp on the ground going back feeling, right? So once again, we're trying to flight this thing down. So we're more worried about controlling the ball flight than anything. So good setup. Let's get very little body motion going laterally in the backswing. And on the way down, I'm feeling I'm going to cover it, right, with my chest, have more shaft lean than normal, and flight it down with a short finish. The biggest thing that I do in these shots is I try not to hit it too hard. If I feel like I can make a nice, tight, compact swing, I'm hitting the ball probably about, for me, when I was playing my best, I hit about 5 yards shorter than normal. And I hit these shots really good. I actually, a lot of times, loved it when it was windy out because they've just been, okay, I'm hitting nothing but this shot the entire day. That's it. So, once again, the feeling would be a bowed or flex lead wrist, right? Staying pretty centered in the backswing, and then covering it on the way down with chest, hands staying forward, and then a short finish. One reason why we want to have those feelings is because if we don't add too much wrist, basically, flex, or say hinge and release, Dorsey and ulnar, whatever you want to say, basically it keeps me from adding loft and impact a lot of times, or having to time it up with my hands too much. We're trying to take some yardage off the shot, trying to take some spin off the shot. So the biggest thing we're trying to do, just start this ball low, launch a little lower than normal, not spin it too much as well. Because I know there's some guys out there who've worked on, hitting punch shots in the past, who I've worked with and I've played pro golf with, who would hit down a little too much on these shots instead of just trying to, basically go a little smoother and flight it, and end up hitting these spinny high 7-irons that go about 20 yards shorter than normal just because they have so much spin on them, they can't knock down the spin rate. All right, so I said I'm gonna show you 2 different ways. So that's one way. That's the way I always like doing it. For me, I have a short, quick swing anyways, so the little punchy feel was a very, very easy one for me. Also feeling the lead wrist, being a little more flex was good for me. I'm not saying it's for everybody. If you have more of a strong grip, you may not want to have that feeling. And then another one that I've learned from Kevin Smeltz, great instructor, longtime Leadbetter instructor. The way he always taught his players to do it is take the same club you normally, or just take maybe half a club less than you normally would, choke down like an inch, and instead of trying to hit the shot full, just smooth it. So that would basically knock down the spin rate a bit, to where now this ball would normally come in spinning, 7-iron, maybe spinning at 7,000 or 7,500 into this green. We can maybe knock the spin rate down to like 5,000 and get that same ball flight we're looking at without having to change too much in our swing or change too much as our feel. So once again, choke down an inch, probably get a little closer to it. Similar swing to our normal one, we just go a bit slower. So the big key is finding out which one of these ways works best for you. For me, the slow swing one is really tough. I find if I go too smooth in my swing, at times I have trouble managing the club face. And that's probably one of the most important things about when you're trying to flight the ball down, especially in crazy windy conditions. You got to hit your start line, and you got to keep that ball launching a little low and not spinning too much. If you lose that, once again, if I'm hitting a shot, left to right wind, and it is basically just howling, and I start the ball right at my target, that ball's not coming back. It's going way right at the target, and if that's in a treble spot, maybe water, trees, whatever that may be, that is a really big issue. So that's why it is very important to have very good control over your start line. That way you can have a good control of your finish line, and the overall shot will work basically on what you're trying to do. So overall, I hope this video helps you out. Once again, the 2 ways to recap is more of a 3/4 traditional punch shot, and the other one is more of a choke down, smooth, normal full swing. So you go a little softer than normal, just knocking the spin rate down just a little bit. Maybe put the ball a little further back in your stance to help with the initial launch. And hopefully that helps you out. And if you have any questions, please drop in the comments. Thanks. Hi. Hopefully this video helped you out. If you liked it, please like my video. Please subscribe. Please put a comment down asking any questions or just anything that may do with the video. If you need any suggestions or you want to suggest another video for me, please let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to try to shoot them. I'm always looking for good ideas. So any way I can help out the viewers of this channel, please let me know. Hopefully these tips help you out and will continue to improve your game. Thanks.